Hey everybody, it's Andy, and today we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite stimulant, caffeine. Caffeine is not actually a stimulant in that it doesn't actually stimulate you. It just makes it to where you don't feel tired or the level of tiredness that you did before. So what that does is that's why caffeine gives you the big crash at the end. Um, Caffeine is responsible for a lot of problems with kidney and bone health because caffeine is a diuretic, and dehydration is the fastest way to get a lower EGFR, which is the estimated glomerular filtration, I think, or like the percentage at which your kidneys function. And a lot of gamers will take this, and they will, I mean, seriously abuse it. We're talking like a gram of caffeine a day just to be on top of your game. And there's probably nothing more dangerous about that than the kidney and the heart damage you get from the hardening of the arteries, because you're pulling calcium out of the bones, and calcium can cause hardening of the arteries. We've seen this in several clinical studies and things like that, where I'll try to find a link for that and put those in the description of the video. So caffeine can have benefits in terms of reaction time and overall mood, but I think that there are far better things that you can use to reach levels of performance that aren't going to harm your body as much. Like simple compounds like Nupept, which I think is banned by WADA, but it's one of the safest PEDs. You can get it on Amazon, I think. And there's a lot of study from like the Russian doping protocols in the Olympics, where they would give their athletes a bunch of Nupept before, and they had better better neuron firing or something like that. I can't remember. But then you have other people like Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the pioneer of the flow state research, and he was saying, well, I don't think he ever said, but the research confirmed that Nupept can improve flow state, or the speed at which you get into the flow state, and that can be very beneficial because you start to hit your shots more. You start to just kind of go with everything. You know where things are. You can read all the information in your game of choice, and you don't really have any issues as far as like mistiming goes, which can be a very large issue for a lot of different competitive gamers. One of the things that I have noticed is a lack of knowledge or information simply about alternatives to caffeine, because you've got companies like G Fuel, Glitch, Esport Advantage is another one that sells pills. What is it? Even a bodybuilding company, Redcon One, they put out a gaming related nootropic that had a bunch of caffeine in it, as well as a bunch of other things like minor amino acids and things like that. And we have a caffeine problem not only in the United States, but also in gaming in general, because you've got people that are destroying their lives when they could simply use something different and reach a better end result with less health side effects. And that's the thing. I think that's why there's a stigma. It's not a stigma. It's a preconceived notion that you start to get worse after you're 25. There's no research to back that your reaction times slow down that much, or your neurons aren't able to fire as well as long as you keep using them. But there is research to show that you can have severe cognitive decline after extended years of caffeine abuse. And we need to really be talking about this in the gaming world. There aren't many people talking about that. Fucking fly. There's a lot of different alternatives in terms of stimulants that do round about the same thing, such as lion's mane mushroom. You've got minor stimulants. What are they? I think there are caffeine derivatives that are all right. Like you've got what is it? Dicaffeine maleate. That's a pretty good one. It's kind of an extended caffeine release. So it works better for some people than others, but I think overall it should be fine. There are if you smoke or anything like that, or vape, or use oral tobacco, I highly recommend using what are they? It's Zen pouches, the nicotine salt pouches, because you're not going to get any of the tobacco side effects of anything like that. There's not going to be any problem with lungs or anything in that nature, but it will help you get off of nicotine. And there are a lot of downsides to nicotine, as far as like vasoconstriction, and I think there's been some research into kidney function as well. I'm not entirely too sure about that. I will have to see anything about that. I have personally talked to several professional gamers. I'm not going to say their names. I'm not going to do anything like that, but they have gotten up there in terms of caffeine dosage, and we're talking stuff that you've probably never seen. And there are better examples of this in popular culture, like XQC and his rampant caffeine abuse, and his crazy abuse of just anything that gets handed to him by a sponsor. Coca-Cola too. I mean, Coca-Cola is destroying the kidneys of Americans and Mexicans. There is a severe Coca-Cola problem in Mexico right now that is causing a lot of deaths, like from diabetes, because people are simply just addicted to the caffeine, because there aren't any other brands that could really facilitate that in Mexico, at least to like supply their need or addiction. And I will be making a series about this. I will be going over a bunch of different stimulants and things like that can be beneficial in a performance enhancing scope. I will save the hardcore stuff for the end, and I will probably bring in a guest for that, because they have a lot more experience than I do with amphetamines and hardcore stuff for performance enhancing and gaming. As far as bodybuilding goes with me in the future, I am getting back into it. Yesterday was my first day back, and it felt good. It was a bag day. I should be back to normal in I'd say a month, maybe. Realistically, maybe 2. I will be using 300 milligrams of testosterone. Nothing special. That's all. I'm going to stay away from the orals to keep my heart and kidneys healthy, and my liver especially. So I'll try to only be using bioidentical hormones for the next transformation. But thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow.